Hey guys, Satellarknight here, and I'm doing an updated deck profile for March of my Satellarknights. I've done a little bit of editing on it. Okay, pretty standard. 3 to Neb, he's your Stratos of the deck. Pretty much the whole reason I use him is to search. Makes bad hands good most of the time. Standard again, 3 Altair. Loops things from the grave. Then I run 2 Satellarknight Vega. A lot of my friends I've gone against have been running 3. I run 2 because 3 can get cloggy because you'll end up with 1 in your hand, but you can't use the effect if you summon it. So I only run 2. And I use 2 Unokalhai. It gets cards in the grave for your Triver effect, your Altair, your Call of the Haunted, and your Oasis of Dragon Souls. Helps you out with those. Plus it's an 1800 beater, so helpful. 2 Satellarknight Sirius have 5 Satellarknight monsters in the graveyard, including XYZ monsters, and you can send them back to your deck or extra deck and then draw 1. It's helpful on that part. 2 Satellarknight Allsom. I run 2 Allsom because it does 1,000 by effect anytime it's summoned. So you can summon it, do 1,000, Book of Moon, next turn, flip, 1,000 again. It's highly helpful in that part. Then I run 2 Honest. Main reason I run this, it's an all-light attribute deck except for a few cards in the extra deck. But other than that, Honest pretty much you attack a high attack monster they have with one of your lower attacks. Like, let's say they have a 4,000 attack out, I attack it with Diamond. Discard both these Honest. They take the 27 from my Diamond plus the 4,000 from their monster. So they take quite a bit of damage.
Unless it's Super Heavy Samurai Big Benker.
Yeah, that one doesn't do very much. Now for the spells, I use 3 Reinforcement of the Army. I use 3 because it's pretty much search power. It helps make bad hands good. Sometimes I've ended up with all 3 in my hand. I'm very lucky when I do that, but at the same time it kind of sucks for later on in the match. Then I run 3 Mystical Space Typhoon. The reason I run 3 of it is because back row is really heavy in this format, and it makes me mad when I can't get any of these and someone just mirror forces my entire field. Then I run 1 Book of Moon. Pretty much, your opponent activates a card effect that destroys everything on the field except that card. If it's a monster, Book of Moon it, that monster goes face down. It's hidden, so it's destroyed as well. Highly helpful. Then I run 1 Pot of Duality. Sometimes you need draw power. This is your draw power because you see your top 3, add 1 to your hand. Then I have 1 Regeki. Regeki is highly helpful in this deck because your opponent can have a full field of high attack monsters. Just get rid of them all, pretty much. Then I run 1 Soul Charge. Even though you lose 1,000 for every single monster you bring back using this, it brings monsters back from the grave, so you can overlay for Triver, Delturos, and pretty much any other XYZ monster you have that you want to get out on the field. Plus, you can bring out Triver, send 2 back to your hand, but you would have lost 5,000 if you had an empty field. Now for my traps. I run 3 Call of the Haunted. Pretty much, get an Altair in the grave, activate this, bring it back, Altair's effect, bring back a Vega or something, then use that card's effect. Pretty much chains a lot. Then I run 3 Satellarknight Nova Alpha. It negates a lot of effects, pretty much any effects actually, that are activated. Highly helpful. I run 2 Oasis of Dragon Souls. It's pretty much a Call of the Haunted. It just brings it back in defense and makes it a worm type. I run 2 Fiendish Chain. The reason I run 2 is it negates card effects and also it cannot attack, unlike Breakthrough Skill, which I do have in my side deck. Then I run 1 Bottomless Trap Hole. Bottomless Trap Hole, pretty self-explanatory. Your opponent summons something with 1,500 or more attack, banish it. Highly helpful. Compulsory Evac. You're up against a Satellarknight deck. Your opponent brings out Triver. send that back to the hand. Their driver's effect will work, but they don't have anything to protect themselves on your turn. Then I run one Solemn Warning, pay 2,000, negate the summon of a monster or effects that would summon it. So, highly helpful on that. Wiretap, it stops my opponent's trap stuns. So it's highly helpful on that one. Now for my side deck. I run one Flying Sea for mirror matches. Your opponent summons something, special summon this from your hand. They cannot XYZ summon. Then I run a third also. Reason I run this one in here is sometimes you just need that third one to do effect damage. Then I run Procyon. Sometimes you need a bunch of draw power, and this will help you out. Constellar Belt. Up against Skill Drain, your Tellarknights will not lose their effects. Highly helpful on that one. Snatch Steal. Combo this with Book of Moon. Take one of your opponent's stronger monsters, like up against a Shadal deck, take one of their fusions. Book of Moon, that monster. This goes away. They don't gain 1,000, and you have that monster. Satellarknight Alpha. It's highly helpful because it increases the attack and defense by 500, and it's unaffected by your opponent's card effects. So Dark Hole won't destroy your monster. Battle Guard Howling. Self-explanatory, your opponent attacks one of your warriors or targets it with a monster effect. Send one monster on the field that they control back to their hand. They take the attack of the monster as damage. Breakthrough Skill. Negate monster effects from the field, and then negates monster effects, and then on your turn it also works from the grave if the monster effect activates. Chain Destruction destroys any monster in it destroys all cards with that name in its controller's hand and main deck. So let's say they summon Deneb, they lose their other two. Chain Dispel stops cards that they may have more of in their deck if it's a spell and trap. Face Off stops card effects from the during the battle phase, so helpful. Light of Intervention helps against Shadals and Ghost Tricks because monsters cannot be set face down. Torrential Tribute. Your opponent summons something that you don't want, destroy everything on the field, including your monsters, but if you have a Triver and a Deltaros out, just do a few combos with that. Vanity's Emptiness. I run it for the Clifford matchup. They can't Pendulum summon, so they can only normal summon, but it does stop you from special summoning as well. Number 104. I have it in here in case there's any time where I might need it, but sometimes I don't really need it, so I just run it in case. Now for my extra deck. I run 3 Satellarknight Triver. Effect, when it's XZ summon, send everything on the field back to the hand. And then remove one, discard a card from your opponent's hand. If it's sent to the grave with an XYZ material on it, special summon a Satellarknight monster. Doesn't matter what kind of Satellarknight monster from your graveyard to the field. In any battle position you choose, as long as it's face up. Then I run 2 Constellar Diamond. Run it for the Burning Abyss matchup and the Shadal matchup because it helps highly against dark attributes. I lost a few matches before I ended up with one of these. Then I have not lost a single one now. I run 3 Deltaros for the fact that I need to destroy something on my opponent's side of the field. It's highly helpful. I like running 3. It's one of my more favorite cards. Bushingi Amaterasu. Your opponent banishes one of your Satellarknight monsters. You want it back on the field. Activate this effect. Bring it back to your hand on your opponent's turn. On your turn, it brings it back to the field. Number 102, Starsayer Sentry. Negate the effect of an opponent's monster permanently and have its attack permanently. Helpful. Steel Swarm Roach. Stop any summon. Oh no, just special summon. My bad. It'll stop it if it's a level 5 or higher. Number 103, Ragna Zero. Destroys something with the attack different from its original. on your opponent's side of the field. Number 80, pretty much a union. It remove 2, banish 2 cards from your opponent's grave, and then you can equip it to one of your face-up XYZ monsters for it to gain 1200 attack. Then I run 1 hero champion Excalibur. Remove 2 XZ's materials. Its attack doubles, and it doesn't matter where its attack is at, so it can be like 3000 attack, it doubles to 6000. It's that simple. And then Abyss Dweller. I run it simply because it's a rank 4 XYZ, and it can help sometimes. It stops effects from your opponent's grave, and that's pretty much my Satellarknight deck. So please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I may do a few more decks. Just leave a few requests in the comments. Thanks.